Welcome to Alpha Bytes, where we serve up bite-sized insights to help you grow your business and your bank account. Our host, Zinni, CEO of Alpha Digital, dives into the latest marketing trends, proven strategies, and actionable tips to scale your online presence. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting out, Alpha Bytes delivers the keys to unlocking your success. Now, let's get started with the show.
Hi, everybody. I'm Zinni, your host of Alpha Bytes, where I sit down with business leaders and entrepreneurs to learn more about what makes them tick and to learn from their success. But first, this episode is brought to you by Alpha Digital. Located in the vibrant heart of Northeast Ohio, Alpha Digital delivers revenue-generating digital marketing solutions tailored to plastic surgeons, dermatologists, and any healthcare-related practice. From cutting-edge SEO and social media strategies to high-performing websites and pay-per-click campaigns, our expert team is committed to driving measurable results that elevate your brand. Whether you're a local business just striving to dominate your market, or have a wider scope and want to be a national brand seeking a competitive edge, our comprehensive suite of services ensures success in today's very crowded digital landscape. To unlock your business's full potential, visit our website at www.alphakeydigital.com to book an introductory call. So today I have Chad Franzen here from Rise 25, who has done thousands of interviews with successful entrepreneurs and CEOs. And today we flipped the script, we've turned the tables, and he will be interviewing me. So Chad, welcome to the show.
Hey, Alex, thanks so much. Great to be here. How are you today?
I'm doing great, just having a cup of coffee here, enjoying this morning. How are you?
I'm doing the same. Very nice. Very nice. Hey, I'm looking forward to talking with you today. We're going to talk today about kind of specific strategies that plastic surgeons can take to better elevate their practice. There's a lot of changes in the industry right now, and I'm sure they're all kind of just chugging along, trying to keep pace. What do you think are some priorities that plastic surgeons should be thinking about when it comes to elevating their own practice?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Chad. And plastic surgeons, especially private practice, they have so many different hats to wear. They're businessmen, they're sophisticated medical surgeons, they are researchers, and there's a lot of different things that they need to pay attention to. But in particular, to stand out and to attract new patients and to grow their practice, one of the most important things that they need to focus on is their digital marketing. Our phones are everywhere with us, social media, search engine optimization with Google or Bing or AI, even ChatGPT. These are all vehicles that can bring new patients to plastic surgery practices. So, I know that plastic surgeons and these bigger practices, they have a lot of different priorities, but it should be noted that they should pay very close attention to social media, very highly targeted and specific personal campaigns to potential patients delivered through email, through their message on their website, great before and after galleries, and so on. So it's a lot to juggle, but it's all very manageable if done with a strategic system.
So if I were either in need of some plastic surgery or choosing to get elective plastic surgery, my first instinct would be to Google plastic surgeons near me or something like that. Yeah. Given that, maybe other people think the same way as me. What are some ways that a plastic surgeon can make sure that they're prepared for that?
Yeah. Well, it starts with having a really attractive website. I mean, this is an aesthetic field. So mirroring the great aesthetic beauty that these surgeons are delivering to their patients with a great website that speaks to their brand is number one. So when a potential patient lands on a plastic surgeon's website, they should have very clear call to actions to look at before and after galleries, to see who the plastic surgeon is, to learn more about them, to schedule a consultation, get in touch with the cosmetic coordinator or the sales individual within the practice. It should be easy, intuitive. People they make snap decisions within a microsecond. And when they see something and they're presented, they're going to know, oh, this is somebody I want to work with, or I'm going to keep looking. So if a plastic surgeon has a website that's outdated or just isn't converting many cosmetic leads, then they would want to focus on that. The next thing they'd want to do is make sure that their Google business profile accurately reflects that same thing. So it has a lot of pictures on there, before and afters. It shows specific services, a lot of great reviews. These are things that are really important for that initial discovery that the patient is going to make because they're going to research for quite a while. They'll probably, like you said, start on Google, type plastic surgeon near me, see who comes up, look at their website, and then they're going to go to social media. And that opens up a whole different avenue to capture interest.
Tell me a little bit more about then that social media aspect of it. Obviously, a plastic surgeon would want it to be quite visual.
Yeah. Yes, of course. Well, and I've seen this done in multiple different ways. So there are plastic surgeons out there who have practices and their social media is very fun, almost bordering on comedy. You see a lot of dancing, you see, fake injections with these big giant, fake stuffed animal injection toys. I've seen, very serious plastic surgeons with their social media doing in-depth deep dives on anatomy and the how implants work within the ecosystem of the body and how contouring has come so far over the years, from liposuction to liposelection now, and that's a real scientific deep dive. What I have found is that the plastic surgeon's personality needs to come through. And as long as it's authentic and as long as it's consistent, you're going to have some good traffic and you're going to have some people who are really interested in booking consultations. So Instagram, extremely important, before and afters, videos, having those content pillars that you work within, is something that's really important. And one of the plastic surgeons that we work with, I'll give a quick shout out to Dr. Paul Vanek here in Mentor, Ohio, in the Cleveland area. He really does a great job getting in front of the camera and talking about all sorts of different topics. Anything from, how the surgical techniques have evolved to create a less invasive and a better result, all the way to, just having fun with his staff and doing some laser demonstrations or injection demonstrations. And that balance of being able to speak highly scientific, but then also be relatable is something that is really important for social media.
So it sounds like you want to establish yourself as both a person that you want to get to know, but also a thought leader.
Yes, exactly.
Um, so can social media be used for discovery, or is more like if I were to Google it? I mean, like if I needed plastic surgery, I don't really follow any plastic surgeons on social media right now. So if I Google plastic surgeons near me and then I find this list and then I see that you have a good Instagram page or Facebook page or whatever, or YouTube channel, that helps.
Yeah, definitely. So it's funny because there are people who just like to follow plastic surgeons and it's entertainment for them. It's like Dr. Pimple Popper, has that huge TV show. And there are people who just enjoy the content. But I would say for most plastic surgeons who are growing their practice in their area, their social media is going to be the next thing that a patient or a potential patient looks at after viewing their website, their Google reviews, and so on. So that is where you already have interest. So with that in mind, when these plastic surgeons are creating their content for social media, sitting down and thinking about, okay, so most of the viewers here are already going to be familiar with who I am. What is it that I want to display to them? So it's almost like the consultation. It's the consult before the consultation. And if you think of it that way, then by the time the potential patient comes in for their consultation, they're already warmed up and almost at making that decision that they want to work with you because they know that plastic surgeon a little better from the content.
So if you have a good social media page, but it hasn't been updated in like 8 months, I'm guessing that's a negative.
That's a negative. Now, this is the problem. So social media can be a detriment. If you just have an intern or, an esthetician who does some Canva graphics on the side, or, you have these, you don't update it regularly, that can actually be a negative. So, just as having a patient go on there and see your social media and make them really excited to work with you, you could have a patient go on your social media, and if it isn't updated regularly and it has cheesy Canva graphics, it could make them not want to reach out to you as well. So, it's a double-edged sword. And once you start going down that route of consistently posting on social media, you have to have a strategy. You have to make sure the quality is really high quality video, high quality content, because otherwise you won't capture the interest. You could even repel.
What about reviews?
Mhm. extremely important. Reviews are extremely important. So any doctor listening to this, I'm sure, has heard of Real Self. Real Self is like the Angie's List of plastic surgery and aesthetic, procedures. So being on that directory, having those reviews there is necessary, but I tell doctors to not buy the premium version of it and focus more on your Google reviews. Your Google reviews, they aggregate to a lot of different directories. So, spending time and making sure that your patients review you is extremely important. And I tell people that, when you're briefing your team, your aesthetic team, and your people at the front desk and the cosmetic coordinator and everyone in between, getting a review is extremely important for boosting your visibility online and also just showcasing the abilities. So yeah, I would say that that's extremely important in an SEO strategy and in a sales strategy.
So I'm guessing you should ask for a review with every patient that you have.
You should ask for a review if you think they're going to give you a good one. If you don't feel like they're going to give you a good one, then you obviously, use your discernment and discretion. But the formula that I tell people is ask for a 5-star review. Make it so that it's a standard operating procedure within your office. Step 1, make sure the patient is actually happy. Step 2, ask them if they'll give you a 5-star review. And step 3, ask them to write several sentences mentioning the procedure that they had gotten, the doctor's name, and the happy result. If they do those 3 things, then you're going to have a lot of great reviews and your visibility is going to increase dramatically.
You talked about a before and after gallery. What kind of an investment is that?
Mm-hmm. Well, it varies. I've seen, before and after galleries that are highly stylized, shot in studios with extremely great lighting and cameras, and at the exact angles so that when they're displayed online, they look extremely professional. And that is really a great strategy for a plastic surgeon because many of the patients coming to them for aesthetic reasons only are really interested in feeling and looking glamorous. And so having a great before and after gallery that's really high end is important. I have seen plastic surgeons who, they're obviously just in a corner in their office and they take, a DSLR camera and they just take a quick shot. And unfortunately, I think that harms people because the perception, I should say, because when a prospective patient goes to a website and sees those pictures, they're picturing themselves in that picture. So they need to picture themselves on the red carpet, not in, a dimly lit, not great area. So for plastic surgeons who are interested in before and afters, we've coordinated this before, and it's really important to get enthusiastic patients who are happy to share their results. We, hire a local studio or create a studio environment within your practice, which isn't always possible, but often it is, with great lighting and good cameras and consistent angles, and get those pictures. And it can be done in one fell swoop project where coordinate with a bunch of patients, get them in, do the shoot, and then also I say get lifestyle shots. So these patients, if they like to golf, get some pictures of them on the golf course. If they ride bikes, get some pictures riding bikes. These action shots are great for your website too, because it shows how happy they are after getting the procedure.
Is it important to be noticed around town? Like I said, I would Google plastic surgeons near me and then find out where they are. But right now, I wouldn't tell you where or who anybody is.
Mhm.
Is there a way to get noticed around town, like a sign or something like that?
So some of the creative ways that I've seen people get the word out is particularly around, like bridal shows at convention centers, having a booth there. There's some very strategic advertising that you can do digitally online. We worked with a plastic surgeon who had a good result placing ads on Tinder.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of interesting ways to get out there, but around town in particular, being a member of your chambers of commerce, engaging with local media. So, here in Cleveland, we have, Fox 8, Channel 3, these are local news. And, there's opportunities there for plastic surgeons to do, informative sessions and advertisements and all of those different things. We've seen engagement, local, we have a high-end local jeweler here in Cleveland, and, they have shows for engagements, and they have vendors there too. So Botox, lasering, all of those things that are done, along with other procedures, breast augmentations or lips. That's a way to get seen in front of an audience that might be very, very interested in the services.
So we've talked about the value of a vibrant website, social media, being noticed around town. What about actually having like a sales team or a cosmetic coordinator in the office to get that kind of high closing rate?
Absolutely. That is once the lead has come in through the door, the patient is interested and the ball's handed off to the cosmetic coordinator. That is extremely important to have a process dialed in there. What I've seen be very effective is it comes down to the personality of the cosmetic coordinator. You want somebody who's excited, somebody who's really bubbly, somebody who's just super stoked to talk to this person and get on the transformation, train with them and introduce them to the doctor, because the doctor is going to meet the patient in the consultation room, but everything up to that point. So, let's just go through the journey. They found you on Google. You had a very attractive website. You have great reviews. They submitted a form. Now they're getting a follow-up call from the cosmetic coordinator, the salesperson, and that person needs to be really excited, listen to what the patient wants, get really great notes, meet them where they're at. Do they want to be text? Do they want to be emailed? Do they want to have a phone call? So I make sure that when the patient submits a form, that they mark how they want to be contacted, and the cosmetic coordinator should be on top of that right away. Send out that text if that's what they want. Pick up the phone and call them if that's what they want. Shoot them an email. All of these different ways to get to engage, and I say engage with them within 24 hours of a business day. So if that lead comes in Friday night, Monday morning, they should be reaching out. If that lead comes in Thursday morning, I would say as soon as possible, but at least by the next morning, reach out to them. And that quick response time and meeting the patient where they're at, discerning whether or not are they just researching, they might not be ready for consultation. If they're submitting a form and talking to you, there's a 95% chance that they'll want a consultation. So just getting them into the office, into the practice, meeting with the doctor, doing the consultation, and making that really warm and a great experience is going to really increase the happiness and the conversion rate.
Is it important to once the prospective patient is in the office, to get a feel for their mood? I mean, let's say they're going to do it, but some could be like, I just want to look like a movie star. Just get me in there and get this over with. But then some people could be scared. It's, like, I want to do it, but I don't want, I have other concerns. Should they be empathetic toward maybe those particular viewpoints?
Yeah. Yes. And, cosmetic surgeons, they're trained, in knowing when to turn someone down and say you're not a candidate, and there are reasons for that, whether it's they're just physically not a viable candidate because they're not healthy enough, or they might sense that there's that this plastic surgery is a deeper seated issue, and they're very transparent with them about, solving, maybe a psychological issue, right? So I've heard of plastic surgeons who, only 30 to 40% of the people they meet even qualify. So that's something that the cosmetic coordinator can preface in the conversation with the potential patient by saying, hey, you might not be, the fit that we're looking for, but come in and meet Dr. Smith, and you guys can get to know each other and talk through your goals and see what we can achieve. That's and for anyone listening here who is interested in plastic surgery, one of the red flags I would say is if you call, talk to a cosmetic coordinator, like, yeah, just get in here right away. We'll get this done. Just, it should be a process that's natural, scientific, and aligning with your goals. And if the cosmetic coordinator can do that, then by the time the patient reaches the surgeon, if they qualify, then they're on their way to really getting, a happy, good result.
Okay, sounds good. Interesting stuff, Alex. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention about strategies for plastic surgeons?
Yeah, I would say don't wait to start investing in a digital strategy. And it really is about strategy because, I know surgeons are very smart people. They spend a lot of time researching. I've met, a lot of really brilliant people, and they get in the weeds on SEO, they get in the weeds on pay-per-click. Really just finding a great digital partner that you can trust and work with and help execute the strategy is really valuable. So I know there's very sophisticated people out there, but having that strategy and everything else would be wonderful.
Okay, sounds good. Well, great to talk to you again, Alex. Thanks so much for having me today.
Thank you, Chad. Have a great day.
So long, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Alpha Bytes. If you found today's insights valuable, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share the podcast with your network. Let's keep the conversation going. Connect with us on social media or visit us at alphakeydigital.com/alphabytes. Remember, the keys to your digital success are just a bite away. See you next time.